Hello and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News on this Tuesday, October 21st. I'm Grant Olson. Here's some of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. The city of Quincy's $15.7 million plan to build a new aquatic center at East Park is beginning to come together. A Wenatchee man faces a likely prison term of almost 10 years after pleading guilty this week to sex crimes against a child. Partly cloudy and mild weather is expected once again tomorrow and Thursday, with rain likely by Friday. Your full local weather forecast is coming up. Warnings about a possible gunfire incident Friday led East Wenatchee police to make 3 arrests. No shots were fired, but bystanders called about 5:15 p.m. to report seeing 2 groups of people exchanging gang signs in the area of Eastmont Community Park. The suspects left the area before police arrived, but city police and Douglas County Sheriff's deputies later stopped their vehicle near the intersection of 9th Street and Valley Mall Parkway. 2 occupants, ages 16 and 17, were allegedly carrying concealed firearms. The 19-year-old driver was arrested on suspicion of driving on a suspended license and making false statements to police. The juveniles face likely weapons charges in Douglas County Juvenile Court. Police say one of the recovered firearms had been reported stolen in Grant County. The nonprofit aid organization Serve Wenatchee is temporarily relocating to a new site in East Wenatchee. A flood from a broken water line on October 7th forced the agency out of its offices on Orondo Avenue, which was also the home of its Fresh Hope Market, where it provides food to the underserved. Executive Director Mike Malman announced today Serve Wenatchee will move effective October 27th to the former Trinity United Methodist Church at 850 North James Street in East Wenatchee. Malman says the borrowed building will host all of the services normally provided at the Orondo Avenue location, including its food bank, rental assistance, and client intake. Serve Wenatchee still plans to hold its Coats for Kids event this Saturday in the Wenatchee Albertsons parking lot from 10 to 2, collecting new and gently used coats for low-income children in grades kindergarten through 12. YWCA of North Central Washington has plans for 2 new buildings, totaling 48 new beds for people struggling with homelessness, as well as offices for its administrative staff. Our media partner, the Wenatchee World, reports that the project is split into 2 phases to place people in permanent supportive housing, transitional housing, or emergency shelter. The total cost is estimated at somewhere between $14 to $15 million. Rachel Todd, YWCA NCW Executive Director, said the agency has already received $5 million in funding from the State Housing Trust Fund Committee this year, and the Chelan Douglas Homeless Housing Task Force allocated $700,000. YWCA has applied for funding through a competitive state grant cycle, but won't know whether it's been awarded until at least December. If the remaining funding is secured, Todd said she hopes to break ground on the project in spring of 2026. The 2 old buildings where the YWCA is currently located on the corner of 1st Street and Chelan Avenue will be demolished as part of the construction. The city of Quincy's $15.7 million plan to build a new aquatic center at East Park is beginning to come together. The city shared a photo update this week from the construction site. The main contractor made headway this month on the parking lot and footings for the new pool and multiple water slide complex. The center would also feature a small lazy river and a 5,000 square foot operations and administration building. The existing aquatic center and parking lot are slated for demolition. The city anticipates opening the new complex in summer 2026. When we come back, after more than 3 years of helping Ukrainian refugees resettle in North Central Washington, Friends of Ukraine Refugees is closing its doors. And Fire departments in Leavenworth and Ephrata are among the beneficiaries this year of the local Heroes Grant Program organized by YWCA Credit Union. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
You won't be voting for Congress or the presidency this year, but local elections are the place where your voice can make the most difference. Wenatchee Valley candidates are lining up to serve on city councils and school boards on both sides of the Columbia River. NCWLIFE put all of them in the hot seat so you can find the ones who represent you the best. Watch our interviews at these times and dates right here on our channel or anytime online at ncwlife.com. You're watching the NCWLIFE channel. Your vote matters to us.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. I've been helping people for nearly a decade understand their Medicare options. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand coverage options so you can feel confident in your Medicare decision. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or see me at my office in Wenatchee with easy parking and entrance.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous farmers market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
A Wenatchee man faces a likely prison term of almost 10 years after pleading guilty this week to sex crimes against a child. Wenatchee police arrested 41-year-old Juan Antonio Silva in January of 2024 on suspicion of molesting a disabled teenage victim. He was discovered in the act by a family member who reported the crime. Silva was initially charged with 9 felony counts and entered a plea on Monday to 4 of them, including third-degree child rape, third-degree child molestation, and voyeurism. Chelan County Judge Kristen Ferreira ordered Silva to undergo a pre-sentence investigation assessing his background and circumstances before she imposes a penalty. Prosecutors are proposing he spend 116 months in prison and 3 years on supervised release and have no contact with the victim or witness for at least 10 years. After more than 3 years of helping Ukrainian refugees resettle in north central Washington, Friends of Ukraine Refugees is closing its doors. The nonprofit announced on Monday that it has accomplished its mission after providing housing, food, transportation, and medical care to families displaced by Russia's war on Ukraine since 2022. The group helped secure more than $900,000 in combined state and private funding to support refugees across Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties. Nonprofit leaders say most urgent needs have now been met, though legal aid remains critical. All the agency's remaining funds will be allocated to immigration attorneys assisting families with visa and work status applications. Fire departments in Leavenworth and Ephrata are among the beneficiaries this year of the local Heroes Grant Program organized by YWCA Credit Union. The financial agency dispersed more than $528,000 to 52 organizations across Washington, including the volunteer firefighters of Chelan County Fire District 3 in the Upper Valley and the City of Ephrata's Fire Department. That money is dedicated to replacing firefighting gear and rescue equipment that's worn out or become obsolete. Other grants went to education, healthcare, law enforcement, and veterans programs. Coming up next in tonight's feature story, we will feature the two candidates vying for a spot on the Eastmont School Board. Seasonal fall weather will continue for the next couple of days with rain and cooler weather beginning on Friday. I'll have your local weather details coming up, as well as Eric Dranstrom with a look at all the day's sports action as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after these messages.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Is your yard outdated, overgrown, or just not working for your lifestyle? At Bailey's Pro Landscaping, they specialize in transforming ordinary outdoor spaces into beautiful, low-maintenance landscapes built for Central Washington living. From custom designs to full installation, they bring expertise, creativity, and craftsmanship to every job. Your yard has potential. Start your project with Bailey's Pro Landscaping.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, so relax. It's done.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Well, in the past year, Eastmont schools have wrestled with multiple issues, including 2 failed attempts to pass a construction bond of up to $117 million for its aging schools and infrastructure. Jason Hines is a first-term incumbent on the Eastmont School Board. In his professional life, he's a workforce development manager for the U.S. Forest Service. His challenger is Kristen Larson, a city planner for the city of Wenatchee. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE News asked them both about the troubles facing the schools.
Why do you want to rejoin the board or remain on the board for another 4 years? What made you decide to run again?
Yeah, what made me decide to run again and to hopefully keep my seat is I think we're moving in the right direction. We just hired a new superintendent about a year and a half ago, so that's good. We have good momentum. We have renewed energy. And we're moving in the right direction, in my opinion. We just got done approving May of 24 our strategic plan, and over the last year we've had increases in our math, ELA, and science scores.
Those are the positives that you've identified, but there's got to be challenges facing the district. So when you look ahead down the road 4 years at the kind of things that the board is likely to be voting on, what do you think are going to be some of the obstacles facing you? Yeah,
some of the things that I am trying to wrap our heads around and trying to get is attendance right now. We're still trying to rebound, unfortunately, from COVID, of getting kids to school. Right now, we are only about 70% of kids being in school 90% of the time. And so that's something that we need to address. We need to get kids into school, because if they're not there, they're not learning. And that's the big thing. We have an 88% graduation rate right now, which is higher than the state average, which is really good. But we really need to get kids into school and have them learning.
I have been watching the district and our bond, which has failed the last 3 times that it's been put out for a vote. I have 2 kids that attend one of the oldest elementary schools in the district. So the bond that has been put out is for replacement of the 3 aging elementary schools and repairs to Rock Island. So I have concern over the lack of community support in voting for that bond. So I'm hoping that through running, I can help bring the community together around supporting our schools, and also to help clarify that when we fail to pass the bond, then the school district is put in the position of doing the maintenance out of their general fund, which starts to take away opportunities from our students.
And the district has long said these are very necessary repairs and upgrades that need to happen.
Yes.
But there's a 60% supermajority that they need to reach. The voters need to approve that. It's come really close every time. So 59% at the last vote. How do you think the district can get it to 60?
The gap that I'm seeing is a lack of confidence from the community that the money will be spent well. I know that people are also struggling financially with our current economy, and it feels like it's asking for another tax, which the bond wouldn't be a new tax on residents. So reaching all of our voters who haven't been supportive and really finding out why they haven't, so that that trust can be earned to help support the bond.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday. Nice day out there for a fall day. In fact, a little bit warmer than we should be. I know it didn't really feel like it because we did have some of those mid-level clouds out there today that obstructed the sun a little bit for us this afternoon. But what a beautiful shot looking down at the valley from our Omi Garden Tower camera. And yeah, just one of those nice fall days across North Central Washington as we continue on through our work week. I think for Wenatchee, Wednesday and Thursday, we will be partly cloudy and not mostly cloudy. Temperatures, though, will be right around that 60-degree mark, which is above where we should be for this time of year. And then by Friday and into the weekend, our weather really changes once again. We'll see showers develop Friday afternoon, a good chance for rain then. And then by Saturday, even some mountain snow thrown in and widespread valley rain as we kick off our upcoming weekend. More on that in a second. Today's high temperature unofficially 59 degrees, a couple of clicks above where we should be for this time of year at 57. Our record high 71, and that was set back in 1972. 39 this morning, and that's exactly where we should be for this time of year. Our record low 27, and that was set back in 1984. Sun came up this morning at 7:29 and sets this evening just after 6 at 6:01. All right, tonight we can tomorrow, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, at least me anyway. Temperatures tomorrow almost like today. In fact, we'll see, I think, some cloudy skies at times in the afternoon tomorrow, but still 61 Moses Lake and Ephrata, 60s for Quincy, Wenatchee, through Eniat and Chelan. Omak, you will see 60 tomorrow, and we're talking mainly upper 50s for both Leavenworth and for Kashmir Wednesday afternoon. All right, now we can get you to tonight. Mostly clear skies out there. Large area of high pressure in eastern Idaho is providing clear skies for all of the western U.S., but with those clear skies, a little chilly tonight with lows in the upper 30s. And then as we get you into your midweek Wednesday, partly cloudy skies. You can see just some clouds from a cold front up in Canada will trail through Washington tomorrow. No precipitation expected. We'll see high temperatures once again right around 60, and keep in mind that's a few degrees above where we should be. For Thursday, partly cloudy, mainly just high clouds before a bigger weather system moves our way late Thursday and into Friday. High temperatures Thursday right around 60 once again. And then for Friday, here's that trough of low pressure, and it's going to supply a lot of clouds and a lot of moisture statewide. We are going to be wet Friday afternoon and into Friday evening, an 80% chance of rain and cooler with high temperatures Friday afternoon into the upper 50s. Kicking off our weekend, area of low pressure just sitting in northwest Washington. That's going to provide another very wet flow to us here in north central Washington. A 70% chance of rain on Saturday and cooler, mid-50s for high. That cool down will continue on Sunday. We're going to see a good chance for at least morning rain showers, maybe even some flakes mixed in, mainly because we're going to be cool on Sunday with mostly cloudy skies. High temperature only in the low 50s. And then as we get you into Monday, high pressure once again slides into Idaho. That'll keep us at least dry on Monday, but boy, is it going to be cool with high temperatures only around 50 degrees. All right, your 7-day forecast brought to you by Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where care, comfort, and community come together. Going to be a cold one overnight once again, 39 your overnight low. Then a couple of days of 60s, both Wednesday and Thursday with partly cloudy skies. Going to be nice those 2 days. And then the bottom falls out as we get you into the upcoming weekend. Football Friday is going to be a wet one. 80% chance of rain and 58. We'll continue with a good chance for rain on Saturday and 55. 53 with morning rain on Sunday. And then just cloudy skies and cool temperatures on Monday with a high then of only 50 degrees. And that's a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCWLIFE, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Yep. So close. Yep. So far, 8 outs. That's all we needed. 8 outs. That's all the Seattle Mariners needed to reach their first ever World Series. 8 outs. But then came the bottom of the 7th. 1 out, runners at second and third, and Mariner manager Dan Wilson decides to pull Brian Wu and bring in reliever Edward Bizzardo.
Top of the order for the Blue Jays, George Springer at the plate.
He's in a position to tie the game up and possibly send this Blue Jays crowd into a frenzy.
High fly ball, left field, Arozarena, watches it go! George Springer has his Jose Bautista moment. This one deeper into the playoffs. This one could send him to the World Series.
I set him a little short. It's beyond frenzy here.
Suddenly, tragically, the Mariners were behind 4-3. 2 groundouts and a strikeout for the offense in the 8th left it to the 8th, 9th, and number 1 batters in the 9th inning.
For the Mariners, their last chance. It'll come against Jeff Hoffman. Because the Blue Jays have blown everybody out in this postseason, he's only had 1 save opportunity. He threw 35 pitches last night, his most in 2 years. Rivas starting the 9th, and he's down on strikes. Hoffman flames a fastball by him, 1 away in the 9th. 2-2 pitch, 2 gone in the 9th. And the Toronto Blue Jays, the payoff. He has struck him out! And for the first time in 32 years, the Blue Jays have won the pennant!
Seattle finishes the season with a 96-78 record. Cal Raleigh finishes with 65 home runs, more than anyone ever in the history of American League baseball in a single season. Seattle was within the 8 outs of the World Series with the 16th highest salary in Major League Baseball. That means low, by the way, $101 million. M's also, bragging rights. They were better than the Astros and the Yankees. Well, while Mariner fans were soothing their wounds, Seahawks fans cheered a 27-19 win. Not pretty, though. Seattle had 4 turnovers, 12 penalties in the win. Thanks in large part to their defense, they were able to get the victory. In fact, the D held the Texans to 56 yards rushing. Coach Mike McDonald was happy to get the win.
Great win. We just talk about how we play. We pick each other up all the time. I thought our defense played outstanding. Their defense is a dang good defense. What do they average? 12 points a game? I don't even know what the score was, but so we outperformed that. We obviously got to take care of the football. But the guys played hard. We responded to all the adversity. Affected the quarterback, took the run away. All the things that we said we need to be able to do. There's a couple plays there at the end that probably could have called some better plays to put us in better situations. But our guys fought, and it's great to win at home.
Win helped Seattle keep pace with San Francisco and Los Angeles in the NFC West at 5-2. Hawks have a bye this week before returning November 2nd on Sunday Night Football at Washington. Seattle Kraken lost a game in regulation for the first time this season last night in Philadelphia. Jordan Eberle helped Seattle get on the board first, but the Flyers came storming back for a 5-2 victory.
Around the wall, Berkeley Catton to the line for Cale Fleury. Fleury shot, tip, scores! Berkeley Catton sure to get the assist, his first NHL point in his first NHL game. Jordan Eberle applies the pressure. Couturier gives it up now for a Sealer shot, and he scores. Nick Sealer capitalizing on a Kraken mistake, a rare mistake from DeCord behind the net. Here's Brink, back to York. Brink again with 13 to go on the Kraken penalty kill. Puck to the corner, Brink to Forrester, shoots under the bar, they score. Michkov to the far side, Zamula back door, Konechny scores. Work to the near side, Zegras to York, down the slot, scores. Top now, the Kraken will pick it up. This is Beniers down low. Jordan Eberle trying to shovel it in, but he lost the puck. Now it's picked back up. Yanni Newman, he scores! Here's Tippett. Off to Couturier, back to Tippett, a shot, tipped in, they score! Kraken will sit on the puck. They'll suffer their first regulation loss of the season, but still pretty up on this road trip as they head off to Washington, D.C. tomorrow night.
Seattle's in D.C. today facing the Capitals, that game being broadcast on Kong TV. There were 3 B prep volleyball matches on Monday. Liberty Bell edged Omak in a thriller 3-2. Wilson Creek got by Bridgeport 3-1. Cascade Christian over Oroville 3-1. Busy volleyball schedule today. Actually began earlier this afternoon. Cashmere hosting Kiona Benton. Cascades visiting Toppenish tonight, while Moses Lake Christian visits Soap Lake, and Wilson Creek plays at Pateras. The rest of the matches begin at 6:30 with Wenatchee at Moses Lake. Eastmont's hosting Davis. Prosser plays at Quincy. Fred is in Grandview. Manson hosts Chelan. Okanagan visits Brewster. Tonasket welcomes Lake Roosevelt. Etiette plays at Waterville Mansfield. Chelan is hosting Cascade and Prep Girls Soccer today. Also, Pateras visiting Okanagan. Liberty Bell welcomes Oroville. Eastmont is hosting Davis at 6. Fred is at Grandview. Cashmere's game versus Kiona Benton forfeited by the Bears. They have so many injuries and not enough players to field a team. That's so sad. Bridgeport plays at Omak. Brewster hosts Manson. Tonasket traveling to Lake Roosevelt. Also, after being upset last week on the road at West Valley, the Wenatchee Panthers look to bounce back tonight against Moses Lake. Mavericks come into Lee-Bofto Field of the Apple Bowl, tied with Eisenhower for second place of the Big Nine at 6-3. Panthers are 7-1 in conference play, 9-1-1 overall. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiesen have the call tonight live on the NCWLIFE channel beginning at 7 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. So close, yet so far. Have a good Tuesday.
And that will do it for this Tuesday edition of the NCWLIFE Evening News. Remember, if you see news happening, let us know. Email your news tips to news@ncwlife.com or just give us a call at 888-6295. Our channel is also now available on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us and have a great night.
You won't be voting for Congress or the presidency this year, but local elections are the place where your voice can make the most difference. Wenatchee Valley candidates are lining up to serve on city councils and school boards on both sides of the Columbia River. NCWLIFE put all of them in the hot seat so you can find the ones who represent you the best. Watch our interviews at these times and dates right here on our channel or anytime online at ncwlife.com. You're watching the NCWLIFE channel. Your vote matters to us.